yeah, I do want to preface that. I do want to insert that Google Ads probably didn't fail your business. You probably just had the wrong expectations or some of these three things set up in your account that you might not even have known. Maybe you did it yourself, or maybe you had a bad PPC manager. There's a plethora of different reasons why Google Ads probably didn't fail you. It's probably the other way around in a sense. How's it going, everybody? It's Gene Villanos here. Another episode of the PPC Cave. Today we are at episode 95, and the title of today's episode is 3 Reasons Google Ads Failed Your Business. But before we get into it, let's talk about our sponsor, Opteo. You can go under our video description, www.opteo.com/theppccave. What this does is gives you an upgrade for your free trial with Opteo. Opteo is the best pay-per-click Google Ads management tool. I use it. Ryan uses it. It's a really great tool for you to organize your clients, also organize your in-house organization, see these key insights that you usually won't find or see just because of the hustle and bustle. You're doing so much and you're managing so many things, but Opteo lays it out really easily. Their dashboard is phenomenal. I highly recommend using them. They've been a sponsor of us for so long now. So go to our video description, www.opteo.com/theppccave. Upgrade your 14-day trial to a 28-day trial. And if you need help setting up Opteo, just shoot me an email or comment and I'll do it for free. I'll do it for free. So jumping into it, the title is 3 Reasons Google Ads Failed Your Business, and we're at episode 95. And this is very recent for me, or relevant for me, not recent, but I guess recent also, but relevant for me just because it's the new year. Today, I am recording this episode on January 7th, so not even a full week into the new year, and I'm getting different types of inquiries from lead generation clients. I've been doing a lot more lead gen lately. And they're asking all these questions. They always ask, how can you guarantee this? How can you, what do you have to say about Google Ads in general? Does Google Ads work in my niche? Do you have experience in this particular niche, this particular organization, this particular website with Google Ads? And the answer to all of that is, it depends, right? But I do have 3 main reasons that I'll go through of why Google Ads probably failed your business and your organization. And that starts with number 1, the wrong targeting, wrong intent, or bad targeting. First and foremost, a lot of the audits or a lot of the clients that come to me say, hey, Gene, can you take a look at my account? I take a look, and the first thing that I see, there's not even any conversion tracking, or conversion tracking is set up, but they're tracking things that should be secondary actions instead of primary actions, or perhaps some primary actions are doubled or not organized. Conversion tracking is super important because it lays the groundwork for you to be able to understand what your intention is or what you deem success is on Google Ads. And most of the time, we come in thinking that we're going to go from 0 to 100 immediately. And we think, okay, I'm going to get all these leads. I'm going to get all these sales on e-commerce. But we've not even mapped out the foundation of what the conversion tracking is, or what our intent is on Google Ads. Is your intent brand awareness? Is your intent submit forms? Is it calls? Is it directions to a physical store? Is it sales for a particular product? What is the actual intent of Google Ads for your business? And sometimes if we don't establish that intent right away, the targeting that follows that, or the methods that follow that, become a compounded mistake where we don't have the conversion tracking, we don't understand what we really want out of Google Ads. Then we start blaming Google Ads for not working when we're targeting the wrong people because of that foundation that was not laid properly and accurately. A lot of the times I also see clients with keywords that are too broad, especially in the lead generation space. And they're saying, oh, why is there so much irrelevancy in my search term report? Or why am I getting low quality leads? It's because your leads are too broad, or your phrase or your broad match is too broad and it's maybe one keyword or two keywords when you should be using something like phrase match or exact match or a combination thereof. So that could also lead to the wrong intent if you have a little bit of too broad of keywords. And maybe you're going after search terms that are research based and not ready to buy, ready to pull the trigger on something. And a lot of the times, if you're doing Google Ads yourself, you're not going to be able to distinguish that just because you're not by chance or by trade a marketer or advertiser. So you're not going to really understand uh, what is intentional keyword ready to purchase or ready to convert versus something that's just perusing or browsing or shopping or just researching. Um, so these are some things that could really set your Google Ads campaign or set you up for failure when you're trying to do Google Ads. And I've seen this as a pattern with so many different clients. And I think it's just really important for us to put it in this episode so we can kind of understand the expectations or understand why maybe Google Ads have failed your business previously. And what can you do to not have this be one of the reasons why your Google Ads fails? One, just make sure that you have high intent search terms. And high intent search terms doesn't necessarily mean you just need exact match or phrase match. It's being on top of those negative keywords, understanding what is relevant, understanding what is irrelevant, and separating the two. And if you have a PPC manager that's capable of doing that, you're guaranteed to have a better time on Google Ads. And understand that you need to invest in conversion tracking. That's the first step also. That's another fix. Invest in conversion tracking. If you don't think it's correct, it's probably not set up correctly at all. So, have someone that can set it up. Don't do it yourself just because it is a little bit confusing if this is your line of work. Set up conversion tracking, and I promise you, once you have that set up, you'll begin to understand, okay, this is what I want for a conversion, or this is what is going to be a good return on investment for my business, i.e., lead generation or calls, submit forms, or sales. And this is not going to be what I want for conversions. And you'll be able to separate the two where exactly, okay, if I'm getting these conversions, then Google Ads is beginning to work for me. If I'm not getting these conversions, then you can see Google Ads in this time or in this season is probably failing. So you'll be able to distinguish and learn between the two. Second reason why Google Ads failed your business. And I phrase this, I'm like looking at my notes right now, and I phrase this 3 reasons Google Ads failed your business is to kind of just at the end is not Google Ads. It's probably the client or the organization, but I'm just trying to be a little nicer. I'm just trying to uh, be a little bit more. This is probably what someone would search, like a business owner, like a frustrated business owner that just can't get Google Ads to work. So, yeah, I do want to preface that. I do want to insert that Google Ads probably didn't fail your business. You probably just had the wrong expectations or some of these 3 things set up in your account that you might not even have known. Maybe you did it yourself, or maybe you had a bad PPC manager. There's a plethora of different reasons why it probably didn't work for you. But yeah, I do want to inject that Google Ads probably didn't fail you. It's probably the other way around in a sense. But reason number 2, as I digress, reason number 2, your website couldn't convert. This is huge. The reason why this is huge is, first and foremost, the website is the absolute biggest indicator if I will take a client on or not. Why is that? Yes, why is that, Gene? Don't you want to take all clients in? Don't you want to, make XYZ amount of money? Of course I do. Of course. I'm in performance marketing. I love to up the ante every time, increase my capacity every time, work with different clients and accept as many clients as I want. But if your website is not ready for Google Ads, this could be one of the biggest reasons why you may have seen Google Ads fail you as a business or organization. But before getting into the reasons of why your website couldn't convert or maybe your website wasn't ready for Google Ads, I do want to also remind people that Google Ads in general or pay-per-click in general is not demand creation. It's not gonna, you're not gonna generate demand by making a Google Ads account or running a Google Ads campaign or any pay-per-click campaign, if it be Meta, Pinterest, whatever. That's not its job. Pay-per-click is here to capture the current demand that either your niche or your organization, your website has already created. It's here to just capture. It's not here to create demand for you. It's here to capture the demand. So if you don't have a good website, doesn't matter how much money, how many campaigns, how many times you try to run Google Ads. If your website is not up to par, and I'll go through the details here shortly, if it's not up to par to your competitors, why would they choose your website to either convert, submit a form, place their email, or purchase your product? Why? Let's ask ourselves that. Why would they go to your website? So that's first and foremost. And I kind of want to break this up in e-commerce, the e-commerce space, what a good website, what a website looks like that would be ready for Google Ads for e-commerce versus lead gen. First and foremost, for e-commerce, it's three things. Does your e-commerce website have credibility? Is it competitive on price? And does it have good speed of delivery? For e-commerce, those are the three things, okay? Does it have credibility, reviews, blogs, social media, social proof? Does it have a competitive price? If you're doing e-commerce, you're probably going to do Google Shopping, so you're going to be next to all these different competitors. It's going to have very, very competitive pricing. And more often than not, people are shopping online because they're ready to open multiple windows, multiple tabs, and see which is the most bang for their buck. So if you're not competitive on pricing, then Google Ads, maybe your website for e-commerce you're not ready for Google Ads. You should figure that out first. And third is the speed of delivery. Is it going to come in a month? Is it going to come in 2 days? Is it going to come in 3 weeks? You're competing against a lot of these platforms that sell online that can get a product within maybe 2 or 3 days to the customer. So a lot of the times we don't have patience online. If I want to buy something online, one of the biggest reasons why I will still go on Amazon and pick a particular product is, for me, not really the price. I don't really care if it's expensive. It's worth it to me if I could get it faster. If I could get it same day, 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, I'm going to pay a premium for that. So those are the three things. Again, I will repeat it for e-commerce. Your website can't convert probably, and Google Ads was a failure for you because for e-commerce, you didn't have a good reputation, didn't have blogs, didn't have social media, social proof, reviews. You were priced out versus your competitors. You're priced too high. Or thirdly, your speed of delivery. Or maybe you have, your speed of delivery taking too long versus your competitors that could get it to their customer within a week, 3 or 4 days, whatever it may be. Or maybe you do have all these three things, but you're under communicating it on your website. This is a huge sticking point because a lot of the times there are so many good traits that an organization has, and this goes beyond e-commerce, but also lead generation. There's a lot of wonderful traits, but you're understating it on your website. If you don't over communicate multiple times, hey, it will ship XYZ day, it will arrive XYZ day, on your product page, on your homepage menu toolbar, even on the banner. If you don't communicate that multiple times, you're really giving too much credit to the people perusing or browsing your website that they're going to read. People online do not read. Well, people, they will read, but it will be needed. You'll need to put at least 3 or 4 times in different areas, different spots that, hey, I can get it to you at this particular time. This is our speed of delivery. Or, hey, these are our reviews. Check it out. It's on the homepage. It's also on the product page. It's everywhere. And I'm not saying spam the website, make it look really spammy, but just know that you have to over communicate both on an e-commerce website and also on a lead generation website, your sticking points, your competitive advantage versus the competitors, regardless if it's lead gen or e-commerce. for someone to really understand your offering or understand that you're the organization they want to work with. Okay. A lot of the times we see the same website over and over again and we think, oh, this is good enough. We don't need to communicate that again on the product page or communicate that again on the landing page that we're trying to drive traffic to. No, you do. I promise you do. Because putting it only one time or putting a sticking point um, maybe just twice, that's not enough to be over communicated or overstated so that someone can trust you, because trust on a website is very, very difficult to attain. And a lot of people don't get that. Maybe that's the reason why you believe Google Ads failed your business. Uh, Moving towards lead generation, uh, your website speed, and this goes for both lead gen and e-commerce, but for lead gen, let's stick here. Your load speed, that could also be an issue, like I mentioned for e-commerce. But for lead gen, take a look at that. Also, your clear call to action. Usually for e-commerce is fairly easy, purchase the product. But for lead generation, what do you want them to do? Do you want them to call your business? Do you want them to fill out this submit form? Do you want them to join an email list? Um, so that could be a big reason. The website is a huge reason that you might see Google Ads not really perform up to what you believe is a success. And also just understand that even if you're doing lead gen, you need to have trust signals, just like e-commerce. Okay, for lead gen, if you're part of the BBB, the Better Business Bureau, that's huge. If you have even a location on the map, that's huge. A phone number, that's already a trust signal that you're not some type of scammer that's just hiding behind a keyboard. You have, your phone number out there. I like to tell both e-commerce and lead gen this: have an about us, on the homepage menu toolbar, just to let people know. It doesn't have to be, artistic or poetic. Just let them know, hey, I'm an e-commerce website, lead generation website. This is what differentiates me. This is why we started this. This is the organization. That provides so much more credibility, so much more trust. And, people are not going to give their information if it be for a sale or for a lead gen submit form if they do not trust you. If they do not trust you, they will not give you any information. So again, reason number two that Google Ads probably failed your business is because your website couldn't convert. Lastly, number three, unrealistic budget and timeline. This is probably the number one question that I get for all potential clients. Gene, how much should I spend each month on Google Ads? And it doesn't matter if it's lead generation, doesn't matter if it's e-commerce. How much should I spend? And my answer is whatever you can sustain for 3 months. Let's create a range, and work backwards. It's so much harder to say, okay, well, you're going to need to spend 2,000. You're going to need to spend this amount. What can you sustain for 3 months consistently? See the budget as a whole instead of daily, monthly, even though it does come out to a daily and monthly budget also. But I think the reason why I like to break it up in 3 months, one big 3-month chunk, is to prolong the monthly management to at least 3 months. And you ask, oh, Gene, why does it have to be 3 months? Why does it have to, that seems a little, weird that it has to be 3 months. Well, the reason why it has to be 3 months is because that first month, you're really just gathering data. And I think that's an understated thing with Google Ads is how slow it is to gain traction, how slow it is to find insights with data. And sometimes the biggest thing is understanding that a data set of 1 month versus 3 months is just night and day. I'll be able to find better insights after the second month, moving into the third month, than I would, the second or third week of running your ads for the first month. And that's super important because a lot of the times what goes on in a PPC manager's head is going back to past experiences. Okay, I run this specific campaign, target this specific product or service, and I've seen this before in a way, in a different iteration, that I can't necessarily get to unless we've spent enough budget. And usually that's between, 3 months or so. So what I would say budget wise is what can you put on the table and just be like, okay, this is what I have for 3 months to test. And there's never a guarantee. There's never a guarantee that you're going to get XYZ conversions or you're going to get XYZ, sales. But what you will get from a PPC manager is relevant traffic. And relevant traffic is all we can do as PPC Google Ads managers. I can't have someone click the submit form. I can't have someone purchase your product. All I can do is get them there through relevant search terms. So I think that's super important to set that expectation right there, that we have to have both realistic budget and a realistic time frame. A lot of the time people are running it for 1 week and then they're like, oh no, Google Ads doesn't work for me. Running it for 1 month. Oh, Google Ads doesn't work for me. Running it for a super low monthly budget, where you're not going to get enough traffic because your budget's too low. If you're in the roofing space, be prepared to dish out some money. You know what I'm saying? The more generalized or more competitors you're going to have and do Google Ads, expect that to be a little bit of a higher cost per click, a higher monthly budget. Now, if you're selling African kazoos, sorry, I don't know what, or, Filipino clothing, then you're in a little bit more of a niche organization, a niche market, so that maybe you could get away with a little bit of a lower budget, So that is a rule of thumb. Most organizations are going to have a range that I can prescribe a budget to. But I think the biggest thing beyond the budget is understanding what can the client, the organization handle for a bulk budget that spans 3 months, one number, and then we'll divide that by 3. So, I think this is a really important episode, especially the beginning of the year. 3 reasons Google Ads failed your business. Again, reason 1, wrong intent, bad targeting. You don't know what success is for you. You don't have conversion tracking set up. You're maybe too broad on keywords because of those things. Second is your website can't convert. You don't have credibility. You don't have competitive advantage over your competitors. You're priced out. Maybe you're taking too long to ship an item. Those things. And thirdly, unrealistic budget and timeline. So if you have any questions, do not hesitate to email theppccave@gmail.com. I'll be there to help answer any questions. We'll do it on the episode here. And also, don't forget about our sponsor, Opteo, www.opteo.com/theppccave. Upgrade your 14-day trial to a 28-day trial. And if you have any questions, you can also just comment on a video. Just comment on a video. Or if you just want to comment on something. We really want to see engagement. We want to see that it really helps us out, helps the algorithm, helps us kind of, get a little bit more subscribers. And that's why we do it. We want to be able to reach more people with this free resource. And we do this every week. Our episodes come out Monday, 12 a.m. Mountain Time. I know it's a bit of a random time, but 12 a.m. Mountain Time. So by the time you wake up, in some areas, at least here in the US, you're going to have a fresh episode of the PPC Cave. But if there's nothing else, then it's bye for now.